I've got a question for you. When was the last time you felt truly inspired? That moment when an idea grabbed you and wouldn't let you go. Those moments are why we're here, not just to talk about them, but to create more of them together. My name is Oscar Mota, and La Mesa has been my home for 7 years in creative exploration. This podcast is just a way of extending this table, making room for more voices, ideas, and possibilities. We're not interested in the surface level conversations about business or design. This is not just one of those things. We're here to deep dive into what it brings bold ideas to life. Today, we're joined by someone that embodies the spirit of community building, Heba Al Nabulsi. Through Let's Talk Social with Hebs, she's creating this amazing space with over 4,000 people in 55 countries. Wow. Well, they come together to grow and learn, and she's showing us what's possible when you approach social media strategy with creativity and genuine connection. So get comfortable, and welcome to La Mesa Talks. Heba, what a pleasure.
Thank you.
Honestly, we've been trying to do this for years now. It's truly an honor because you're very inspiring to us at La Mesa and to me personally. We've had multiple conversations about creativity, specifically about community building and giving back, which is you're basically an expert in that, which I love. So it's truly an honor for me and my extended family at La Mesa to have you here with us.
It's my honor. Thank you so much.
Let's start, like I said, let's start from the beginning. What are you up to these days now?
Oh, it's been busy. You always need to be on top of things. We live in a world that just does not stop. It's hustle. So you need to keep up with what's going and ensure you're able to deliver that in the best way possible.
Both in the corporate and both in the
of
sort of
course,
entrepreneurial
personal,
stuff.
family, community, everything.
Yeah.
I don't believe in work-life balance. So it's about just trying to do everything the best way possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're so in line and so aligned with that. It's work-life balance doesn't exist.
No.
Because work
That's
is a
the
part
hard
of
reality they don't tell us.
No, but work's a part of life. We were educated and we have this. We've been brought up or just forced into this mentality that you have to hustle until you burn out by yourself. With this self-made something story, which couldn't be farther from the truth. You're the center of many things, but one of the things that I love the most, and the reason I met you was the community of Let's Talk Social. Yeah. What inspired to create this fantastic community? Because it's massive. Like when we were doing the research with my team, I knew that our community had about 1,000 people. That you know the events and stuff, and you have multiple stuff. But when we really dug a little bit deeper on that and said 4,000 people, 55 countries, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I was like, wow. I mean, I was impressed. What took you there? What was that moment? Like, I have to do this.
I think you wouldn't expect this answer, but it was a decision I had to make to heal from agency traumas. So to give some context, Let's Talk Social started with an Instagram group, me sharing just any post I liked, social media updates, campaigns. And I'm going to allow you to picture something with me. Imagine for 10 years straight, you are obliged by contract to keep your credibility, your experience in the market, to know what's going on in your industry every single day. And after 10 years, you quit, your brain shut down. Like, what's going on? It was an obligation, but it actually grew on me. I enjoyed it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, now what? I don't have a platform to share. I no longer have my agency, my team, my town hall, nothing. So I remember the day I called my ex-team members, I was like, you don't have a choice. I'm going to put you on an Instagram group, mute it, don't check it, but I need to share because I can't stop. Yeah. And this is how it started.
It became a part of your DNA.
Yes.
I mean, it's been a part of your DNA. This is who you are. This is what you believe in. This is what one of the things I admire the most about you is that you really embody what you believe in.
Yes.
It's not unfortunately yes. It's unfortunately in our industry. We had the wonderful Rasha Hamsi here as well. She left corporate into becoming an entrepreneur, sort of teaching young creatives into you don't have to comply.
No.
You have to learn how to play the game, quote unquote. But one of the things I love the most about you is that you really embody, you live what you walk the talk.
Yes.
Right?
And it moves from obligation to passion. When that turn happens, then it's no longer something that you can live without. It's part of you.
Yeah. Usually the talk in community building or the talk when you're in communities feels a little bit more, let's say, casual, right?
Yeah.
And it needs to be casual because 100%. The idea is that we are friends, we grow to be a family.
Yeah.
Like you've recruited people for me, for my team as well, or I've recommended stuff for you, which is we become
it's
a family.
Two-way. Yeah.
It's a two-way conversation. But you need to have some structure in it,
of
right?
Course.
So how do you balance casual with creativity and creative media with data analytics and sort of I'm gonna use a slang that I hate and I love, which is the value adding stuff.
Yeah. All right. So I personally feel you cannot achieve a balance. Okay. You need to work hand in hand depending on your purpose, your objectives. For me, creativity is engagement and storytelling.
Yeah.
All right. This is what's creativity for me. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. You've been in the creative industry for years. However, to be able to optimize and drive results, you need data and analytics.
Absolutely.
So they work hand in hand. You cannot separate them. You cannot balance them. You need two types of people also. Like, I don't believe you can find one person that does it all because you need that specialization. And you decide. You have a lack in engagement and storytelling, you focus more on creativity. You have a lack in actually driving results for this amazing output, then you focus on data and analytics. So yeah, which is how I see it.
You just brought a very interesting point. Generalists in marketing or branding or creativity are very rare, and we shouldn't normalize the fact that you need to be a generalist to just go above, right? The community, you curate specifically who joins in terms of, or who you open the doors to your house to, like specialized people that can really bring stuff to the table or teach you or teach us stuff, or you just allow free flow of for the conversation and then you just put a filter?
No, we have to have a filter. For one reason, you need to ensure that you're getting people that are like-minded under one roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to have someone with other motives or other interests. It's part of being transparent and having very clear communication. But again, that's not strict. I never ask people for their title or their experience, but I ask them about their passion. If they're passionate in the industry, and our industry, again, I know we're pushing towards specialization, but again, they're general themes like marketing, content creation, creativity, social media, digital. They fall hand in hand in a way or another. So as long as you're either passionate about these things, you have experience, maybe you're a student that is just exploring their paths, you're welcome. But you need to have a common factor, which is you're passionate about what you're doing in this industry.
But at least you're clear, you have a bullseye that you want to explore.
Because in the end of the day, you want to maintain that momentum. And if you get people that really don't understand what you're doing, or they're just there because there's a new trend, people love to be in groups or in communities for the sake of it, then that impacts the overall energy of that community and will impact me, because I would feel that I'm not able to reach everyone and meet their objectives too.
I understand what you're saying, because there's a say like in networking is make it a habit to reach to people when you don't need something from them.
Yes.
Right? And then I have a thing with networking personally is like when you're in a position like I am, where my team is, it's, do I run the strategy? Do I run the business? Do I sell my business, or do I network? Am I networking or am I working? Like, what's the balance of that? And that's the beauty of the community. Like, it's something that exists and you exist within, but you don't necessarily have to be pushing through all the time. Specifically in a market like ours, in which, and we had this conversation before, a very deep conversation before. It's like, you don't need to have a Rolex, or you don't need to dress in a way or attend specific places or talk to specific people to be seen or to be someone, right? And there's something beautiful of when you define to me the community, and not specifically let's talk about social, but the community. It's like it's a place for the unseen to just shout who they really are.
Yes.
And this is something that really caught my attention and confirmed why we enjoy so much being a part of your community.
Thank
right?
you.
But there's also a downside into that. These are the challenges, you know.
Yes.
So what were your biggest challenges in creating a space like this? Specifically because it's so diverse. But not because of the universe, but because Dubai, like the statistics of a community in Dubai are going to point out as something very diverse.
Yeah.
But your community is really diverse.
Yeah.
In all seniority levels, across multiple nationalities, across multiple industries.
Yeah.
It's almost like 40 thing,
Yeah.
which is beautiful. But what was the challenge in creating such a diverse and truly global community?
All right, so I don't find it challenging at all because I was very fortunate to be born and raised here. And I worked in a lot of global companies. So for me, diversity is in my DNA. And I believe if you ever enter a community that is not diverse, just run away, like really run away, because that's not a community in my definition. However, what I would advise people if they're a bit scared or challenged by the idea of diversity is actively listen. In the end of the day, we have one common thing. We're all humans. And we all have needs, whether it be professional or personal. So at a certain point, we all want to grow. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. And for me, that is not related to your nationality, to your background, to your age, to your seniority. It doesn't matter. So when you look at it from that simple perspective, it makes it less overwhelming. But if you start categorizing, because I did that in the start. I was doing a lot of consumer behavior studies and audience segmentation, and then I got so overwhelmed.
That was your corporate stuff.
Yeah, I was taking whatever in my corporate and just putting it, and I was like, wait a second, why am I taking life so seriously? That removes the whole point of a community. So remove that and just look at it as humans. Look at people as humans, and believe me, nothing else is going to matter.
It's, wow. I to be completely honest with you, I thought you were going to say, like, you're going to list, like, the challenges to building a community like this are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because it makes sense when you're building something.
Your typical.
But again, I understand. But I had to ask because one specific reason. The main purpose of creating La Mesa Talks is creating a space, like I told you, that is just, I'm not interviewing you. I'm talking to my friend.
Yes.
And it's all about giving a platform to the people that has built us as La Mesa, and has built our small band of crazy people. But it's also to give a platform to things that have purpose, right? If you are not aligned to what we do, we're not going to. I mean, yes, we respect you, but we're not going to talk to you about
100%.
anything, right?
100%.
Specifically because I'm an advocate of educating young creatives.
Yes.
You know it.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate of educating and enabling and uplifting, empowering, truly empowering, not the buzzword. Young female creatives. Right? And this conversation, I needed to turn into a masterclass. Because you are sort of the big umbrella, but I would love to see more communities around that. Right? And I want people to take your experience in and say, it is possible.
Yes.
It is possible to come from corporate world. And again, I bring in Rasha and I bring in all the fantastic guests that we have. It is possible to mix that.
100%.
Right? Creativity and passion and hunger and corporate politics and 9 to 5 and right? And
I think we box ourselves.
Absolutely.
In a way that we think of all this.
They've boxed us. We don't box ourselves.
True, actually. The industry boxed us and put us on autopilot that we thought we cannot leave. And that's why it all started for me. I was healing from agency traumas because I was in that box. But as soon as I realized there's another world outside and you can make a difference without the need of a title, without the need of anything.
100%. It changed. It made a difference.
100%. It's limitless. No one can put a limit.
I'm going to digress a little bit here because you've touched something very, very, very interesting, and that's very interesting for the people that's listening and that's watching us. When you belong into an industry and you start putting labels to validate knowledge or to validate experience, you missed out on so much.
Yes.
I made it a case, and you know, that in La Mesa, we
Yeah.
don't have titles.
Yeah.
We don't.
And that
Like,
what impressed me when we met
who
first
are
time.
you? I'm nothing. I'm the guy that serves the coffee, that caters to my people, that switches the light on and off.
Yeah.
And we have designers, and you have really, really jewels from countries that otherwise wouldn't be accepted in the market because of whatever it is. And the jewels I have found, I could have never, if I had stayed in Colombia or in Italy or in Mexico or Argentina, the places
You
I've lived in.
untapped opportunities that were just like
100%.
people were scared
Exactly.
to take the risk.
Exactly. It's like, who are you? Like, tell me about something that you're very proud of. Have you managed budgets of millions of dollars? No, I switched it, and we started like. And you asked me at that time, how do you manage Gen Z?
Yes.
How do you manage these kids? Imply trust. I
Yeah.
trust you. But if you fail that trust, you're out.
Yeah.
And you'll never be back in. You know? So that's a very important message in terms of community building. Now let's get practical,
Yeah.
because again, this is a masterclass.
Yeah.
How do you keep your community engaged while it grows? Because 4 figures, and I'm sure 2 years from now it will be 5 figures, and inshallah it will be 6.
Yeah.
But like by yourself. How do you keep people engaged?
All right. So to be very honest, it's a lot of trial and error. All right. The strategies we learned in corporate world does not apply in communities because it's very new. All right. So I've tried a lot of things. Some of things worked and some others didn't. But one thing I would say that made sense is you need to tap on 3 areas. You need to tap on people's mental, or people mentally. You need to give them something that makes them think, entices them, make them creative, make them dig more, make them curious. So that's the mental aspect. You need the emotional connection. You want to have that personal connection. You want them to feel they're not alone. You want to have that two-way interaction, events, answer their questions, get them guidance, mentorship, and all that. And the third one that I realized after 3 years is the spiritual connection, or the connection that goes beyond the mental and physical and the emotional. And that's what inspired me to create, through the community, a water well in almost like 3 countries now. The reason behind that is, again, you want something that would sustain generations to come. You want to do good. And that's the whole point of a community. So what kept it evolving and growing and people still trusting is that in the end of the day, they can sleep at night and say, I actually have a water well. Someone had clean water today, and I'm grateful for that.
Because of me. Or because of us.
Because of us as a community. Each person would feel they're part of it. So I know maybe in other master classes they would, and this is how I did it in the start. I put a model and it's called purpose, and every letter has an abbreviation and a strategy and all that. But at the end of the day, it made me realize that we complicate things because of our corporate. But I tell you, if anyone wants to start a community, they focus on how can they keep people engaged mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they're going to succeed.
It's a more holistic view on a little bit what Da Vinci did 700 years ago, basically. It's like, you know, like sane body, sane mind.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're not your corporate face only.
Yes.
You're not your Rolex.
Yes.
You're human.
Yeah.
You feel.
Yeah.
You have you know it's and that is a go-to-market strategy. If
I want to put it in corporate words, I can create a whole masterclass in the book.
Full deck.
Yes,
full
and I'll
deck
sell
on
it
how
too.
to build. Yeah, absolutely.
But here, I want to give the reality. Even if it's simple, but it is simple. Do these 3 things, and I assure you, you're going to do one of the best communities.
Yeah. And it applies to relationships as well. It applies to business building as well.
Yeah.
It applies to when you're a CEO, when you're leader of a team or
Yeah.
a company, big or small, you basically become a chief people officer. My job is not anymore strategy or
Yeah.
business. My job is people,
Yeah.
right?
So how do you keep
It's-
people engaged? How do you keep them connected, loyal? So
How do you keep them human?
yeah,
Like if you had an issue with your previous job, like okay, I want to talk to you about it. What happened?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. But number one, I want to avoid drama.
yeah,
But I want to hear your version of the story.
yes. And everyone has a story.
Everyone
And this
has
is
a
what
story.
we miss. People have authentic stories,
So true.
but they're just so scared because they're so used to be
So
judged.
true. So true.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the physical part because that is, in a way, a little bit in a more pragmatic version of it.
Yeah.
How you sustain, how you monetize a community.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and this is something I say every time to the people I mentor, to the people to my team. I have people in my team that has side hustles and
Yes.
e-commerces and brands,
That's
and we
amazing.
help them.
It's like music to my ears.
But because you have to do, you need to be prepared to change your
Yeah. You need
craft
to be agile.
3 times in your life.
You need to be agile, yeah.
If you want to be a baker, bake while you're doing social media.
Why not?
Or if you want a baker and you want to do social media, come and do social
Again,
media.
why not? Yeah.
But you need to monetize your passion.
Yeah.
If you can monetize your passion, then you're not going to hear your dad or your mom saying you cannot go to musical theater.
True.
Or you cannot go to, culinary school because you're going to fail. That's the old thinking, right?
Yes.
But what role does training, physical events,
Yeah.
because you do quite like 10 or 12 throughout a year,
Yes.
a calendar year.
Yeah.
What role does training, workshops, and physical networking play in this ecosystem that you've built?
It's a vital role. It's if I'm gonna put it from a percentage wise, it's like more than 85% is networking events. Because again, people want, after COVID, people no longer want to stay behind the screens. But at the same time, they're scared and a lot have social anxiety. So events make you connect on a deeper level with everyone. It gives you the platform for unheard voices, and it allows you to get to know people. And I truly believe you cannot succeed in anywhere, even in other industries, if you don't grow personally and professionally. And one super easy way that a lot of people miss is networking. But again, don't go network once and expect millions after. No, it's a consistent thing. It's a muscle you need to flex. It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You can't go once and just assume you're going to have the perfect body. It doesn't work this way. Networking is a skill that you need to flex.
Yeah.
And through networking events, you get to know and meet people that you see behind the screens. And sometimes you're going to be so shocked. People that are super confident on screen are not. And people that are not confident on screen are actually confident in real life.
Yeah.
So I believe I wouldn't have sustained the community until today
without this.
networking events.
Yeah.
And as much as I can, I try to travel and do these abroad. And it was just beyond amazing. Because again, you meet different cultures, different thinking, different people, different objectives and purposes. It allows me to also understand how can I grow beyond the 55 countries or expand within those countries.
Yeah.
There are countries that I have only one person. Imagine if that person I met and he expands and create his own community there.
Yeah.
That would be a goal I would want in the future.
I love this example, and I'm going to give you 2 models that are beautiful to me, that you belong where you belong.
Yeah.
One is a content creation community called Yes Theory. I'm sure you know these guys
yes.
that are absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And they've created a model in which they have chapters.
Yes.
So they're able to pre-produce and produce their content in advance because of their community.
Yes.
But they give so much more to the community.
100%.
It's not that it's only because of the name.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. And the other one's more in the corporate world. And it's one of our favorite, one of our sort of North Star as a branding design consulting studio. It's Pentagram.
Okay.
Pentagram is not it's not it's an independent, massive branding agency, but each chapter is an independent studio on its own.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like mini communities.
Yes.
Now you have this beautiful story, and I'm just going to segue to my next question, where you have 55 countries and maybe one single digit members, but you're looking into that's your growth strategy.
Yeah.
Do you have a team that helps you out, or this is all by yourself for now?
Solo, but I have volunteers. So there's a lot of loyal members that I wouldn't have reached today without their help. That help me in different ways. They have been with me for the past 4 years. So they definitely play a role. And I'm recruiting people in other countries.
Okay.
When I meet them, so when I went to Jordan and met the Jordanian chapter, let's say, I'm in discussion to have someone lead there in Jordan. In Lebanon, in Saudi, in Kuwait, in Qatar, the same thing. So I'm trying my best, but again, it all depends. With communities, you cannot put a strategy for 1 year, believe me, even if you try. Sometimes you need to change your focus every week.
Yeah.
So depending how things roll out, I'll be able to know where to expand and how to expand. Yeah.
How do you approach? Because it's such a fluid thing, such an organic thing.
Yes.
I mean, you need to. It's human, so it needs to be organic. It needs to be fluid. It needs to be ever changing. How do you approach leadership? Because a volunteer is a volunteer. Volunteer doesn't have an obligation. So it's passion. Great. Passion is fire. Passion fires creativity and chaos. It's like, like you're not my mother. Right? So how do you approach leadership in such a dynamic, fluid story? Which is very interesting to me. Like if you go to Jordan, they're like, we want to be a part of this. But still you're the leader. You're the founder. You're the one that has the vision and you need to transmit it.
Yeah. So that's a challenge. However, I learned something. After years in being agencies and corporate, no expectations, no disappointments. So I don't have high expectations. And I believe everyone is a human and they have a choice. So we work according to that. And I learned to be agile. In the past 4 years, I've changed my titles maybe 5 times in the same company because of what the market is going through. So imagine that on a very corporate, unicorn tech company. I'm going to come and not be agile on a community level. I need to. So agility and being very open to new ideas. So anyone that really knocks my door and texts me, Heba, what do you think? I never shoot it down. We have a discussion. And I know they might stick to it or not. Again, as you mentioned, because they're volunteers. But at a certain point, once we grow and I'm able to have full-time employers, then that's a different story. And I learn from you a lot on that aspect because you've been doing a lot in terms of management of people, having your own thing. But that's something I will look into when I have to look into. But currently, because it's my side hustle, it's my passion, I tend to go with the flow. It's very hard for a Capricorn to do that, but I'm learning. I'm learning to stop taking life so seriously. And opportunities just come, similar to this interview, that purely came organically. And our conversations are always organic. Our conversations are just
always
evolved.
Evolving, right? It's like, wow, you always blow my mind. Always blow my mind. So, but I do have a challenge on that, what you're saying. And I tend to agree on no expectation, no disappointment. But for you to grow, you need to have expectation. At least, like
I have a vision.
A vision.
Yes.
And you need to quantify your vision somehow. But understanding that you don't have to be attached to that in order for you to measure success, because success can be anything.
100%.
I have a wonderful client that we're rebranding right now. They do go to market strategies, so they transform businesses. And it's like, I don't want to be called growth. I don't want to be called scale. I don't want to call, because this is just so bastardized. And we figured out that a change in the language
makes a big
as
difference.
Breakthrough, as catalyst, makes such a difference. Because the question that we were posing now to this specifically is, how do you measure success? We measure success differently, right? For me, success is that my daughter sang to me A, B, C, D, E, F, G this morning. And it blew my mind because she's turning two
Yeah.
in a month,
Yeah.
right? For you, is that you have a country, 56th country in this, right?
Yeah.
But I do believe that you need to quantify
Yeah.
your vision as a sort of a middle point,
Yeah.
not to just expect too much, but to have
Yeah.
sort of a North
Yeah.
Star, right?
Yeah. So
Would
I'll give you a
agree?
teaser of my vision. And maybe someone listening might jump on board. Could be you,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll give you my elevator pitch.
great.
So my vision for the community is to create an event
Yeah.
for the voices that are not heard.
We've discussed this
Yes.
before, the anti-industry
Yes,
event.
norms. I want you to imagine with me a Gen Z that just literally graduated, handled a TikTok account for 6 months on stage. I'll pay for it. Instead of having someone, with due respect, I have a lot of experience, you have a lot. Instead of someone like us on stage talking about TikTok strategies, where in fact we're still figuring it out. And this Gen Z figured it out in less than an hour, blew up an account in 6 months.
Yeah.
But
Actual stuff.
Yeah, and no event is able to even accept his application as a speaker because he doesn't have
He's
a
just a
title.
kid. Or he doesn't
And
have
he doesn't have
agency, big name.
experience.
Yeah.
And because maybe he was doing it for a bakery,
Whatever.
not a big client.
Just trying.
Yeah, just
An
trying.
uncle. He was interning for a friend.
100%. So if you want me to not tell you my vision, this is my vision that I dream of every day. I'm working towards every day to recruit speakers like this and be able to give them a platform.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if they're going to wait another 10 years like we did to get an
We're
opportunity,
going to waste a lot of time.
yeah, no, they're going to lose passion. They don't have the patience we had. They're not going to lose passion because
Yeah.
no one believed in them.
Yeah.
So that's my vision.
We're gonna make it happen,
Yes.
guys. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna create the anti-industry, with the respect for that too, event, and we're gonna give platforms for whoever that think they don't have a voice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close with this
Yeah.
because, and I love our conversations,
Yeah.
and we could talk for days.
Yes.
But I want to make this super practical.
Yes.
I want you, because you're an expert in corporate, you're an expert in digital, you're an
Yeah.
expert in data and social, in consumer insights, in community building. But let's get practical right
Yes,
now.
ready.
Give me a list, quick one, on advice for anyone, and we touched a little bit
Yes.
before. Advice for someone that's looking to create a community.
Do it. Don't
Number
wait
one.
for it.
Yeah.
Or someone else will do it on your behalf. Another thing, start small. Take risks, celebrate failure. It's trial and error. And if they're the type of people that need a framework, I have something called Purpose Model for Success. They can DM me and I'm happy to share it with them.
What we're going to do is we're going to link, we always link references to our guests, again,
Yeah.
the platform, they link to the community.
Yeah.
Because we need to feed this community as
Yes.
well.
Thank you.
As I told you, it's wonderful. I could talk to you for days. We know it.
Same here. I'm really enjoying it. It feels like natural.
It is when I get in particular in front of brilliant minds, I get fueled
Yes.
because it's so inspiring.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
Thank you.
I learn so much from you every single time, as I learn from my intern, my designers, my partner,
Your
my
kids
client,
are
my
your biggest
kids,
inspiration.
right?
Yeah.
Because I learned that I need to have an open mind.
Yes.
We always close with fun, fast, rapid fire questions. Right? We're going to do this and we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
What's your favorite new social media trend?
Gated communities?
Okay. If you could have coffee with anyone
Yes.
in the world or whatever,
Yeah.
who would it be and why?
My grandparents. I didn't have the chance to meet them. So, and I've heard a lot. And I believe anyone from that age had so much. They understood the word, actually. They knew how it worked.
Where were they?
They passed away a long time ago. They were in the Jordan, Palestine, but I couldn't meet them.
Yes,
So
yeah, unfortunately.
yeah. So
Well,
I just hear stories. So I would love to have a coffee with them.
Always Tet Anjed. It's a message I send to my kids all the time. Tet Anjed, and I make it a case.
Yeah.
And we speak to Tet Anjed.
Yeah, it's something phenomenal, honestly. And
every single day.
Yeah.
Early morning brainstorms or late night ideas?
Oh my God, now early mornings. At agencies, it was late night, but now totally early mornings. Now I understand why the 5 a.m. club was made and all these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm attempting triathlon, believe it or not, and I can't wake up early.
It's very hard in the beginning, but if you asked me like 7 years ago, I would have laughed. But now, no. It's
5 a.m. club. Okay,
yeah.
5 a.m. club, guys. What's one thing you hope for your community members to always remember about their journey? We're getting super philosophical and romantic.
Yeah, they need to know that they had the chance to be seen and heard. They had the platform.
That they deserve a platform.
They deserve
also.
that platform, and they had it within their hands.
If you could create, and you gave it a pitch. It's a completely different thing. If you could create a networking workshop in one sentence, what would it be?
Put your titles, nationality aside, and let's celebrate your failures.
Let's celebrate your failures. They say you learn more from your failures than from your
big
wins.
time. Yeah.
Heba, it's been a pleasure.
Same here.
We love you. We appreciate you. We respect you, and we admire you so much.
Thank you.
We will be always pushing and rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
As usual. And before we go, we would like to hear just one final thought. Whether it's a little bit more advice on building communities, a message. If you can get political if you want. It's fine. We are very political. Or something that's just straight from your heart to your grandparents, if you wish. What would you like to leave us with before we go?
I think I said it a couple of times, and I really want to emphasize it. Don't take life seriously. Just have fun. Take it easy. Life can change in a second. And you don't want at any point to regret anything. And I always used to tell my team members and even community members, what's the worst case scenario? You're going to be let go. You'll find another job. You're going to fail in this. It could be a learning for another thing. There's always a silver lining. And I think that's the thing I lived with during my community growth start phase. And it really kept me going. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Today, Heba just she showed us again why community building is so important. But she confirmed a lot of the things that we knew. She's great. That just this is a living thing. And it's just worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for joining Mesa Talks. And we'll see you next time.